Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk about why you must be understanding and kind to yourself when you start walking on the narrow way of positivity. People sometimes will get into following Philippians 4:8, and I've had people contact me and say, well, this is great, but I've already failed. And so they start beating themselves up as if because it didn't magically change overnight and they had a negative thought, now they might as well just give up. That's just a way your subconscious programming is talking you out of doing the thing you're doing. Trying to keep you in that homeostasis point of where you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing, being negative and getting caught up in the cares of the world. You have to be easy and understanding of yourself. Now, I'm not saying you let yourself get away with things. I'm not saying you make excuses and set low expectations for yourself. Nothing of the sort. But understand that while some people, maybe they can change overnight, and that's great, it may take you a little longer. You have decades of programming to the contrary of what you're trying to do. So understand that at first there may be a little pain. It's like when you start exercising. If you haven't exercised in your entire life and you start exercising, or you haven't exercised in a while and you start exercising, the next day you have soreness. Not pain necessarily, but just soreness, knowing you worked out because your muscles are not used to it. That's not a bad thing. That's just you knowing, okay, I got to build up some stamina. I got to build up some strength in my muscles where they can better handle this. And it is the same way with positivity. When you're coming into and really dedicating yourself to following Philippians 4:8, and that's what you're going to think about is only things that are positive, only things that are lovely and of good report. When you do that, you have to understand that you have many decades of programming that are contrary to that. You may have random thoughts come up, and you probably have things around you that cause you to think about those negative thoughts. They may trigger, so to speak, or prompt a negative thought, and you're going to have to work your way through that. That's all right. Just like you wouldn't the day after exercising for the first time in years, just give up because you're sore and say, well, this doesn't work for me. You just know that there are going to be some things you're going to have to go through. It may make you a little sore, but in the end, the results are going to be worth every single effort you put forth. And I do want to be clear, you can renew your mind relatively quickly. Each individual is different, so I don't want to create a false expectation that causes you to give up. If I tell you it'll take 2 days and it takes you 2 years, you'll probably give up way before it ever gets to that 2-year point. Each individual is different. That's all right. Don't beat yourself up. Don't nag yourself. Don't tell yourself how much of a failure you are. You just can't keep up with that positivity stuff. It just doesn't work for me and all this nonsense people tell themselves. Understand that is your subconscious programming telling you lies because it's afraid, because what you're doing is new. What you're doing takes you from that homeostasis point where even though things may not be good, you're alive. And you got to understand that subconscious programming, the basic underlying rule of that operating system is to keep you alive. Doesn't mean keep you happy. Doesn't mean keep you successful. Doesn't mean keep you thriving. Matter of fact, it normally doesn't mean any of those things. Just doing the things that you have done that to this point you survived. So when you start adding new things in that you have no track record for, that programming rebels from it. It tries to get you off track, get you thinking, well, I've already failed, I might as well not do this. Anything to keep you on that old program, that limiting, negative, low vibration program. You just have to power through. You have to be a man or woman of God enough to say, no, I refuse to go back to that way of thinking. My thinking's renewed. My mind is renewed. My mind is changed. And I now think about only things that are lovely and of good report. One of the keys is you have to stop talking about things in the past. People talk about bad things in the past and they don't even recognize it as a form of negativity. There's very little to zero, most of the time zero, need to be talking about your past. There could be some way, if you're teaching especially, where you want to explain a lesson you learned from the past. Okay, but you have to be very careful about your words, because too many people go the opposite direction and they just are talking up negativity. They're reveling in it. Well, this bad thing happened to me in the past. You know, it was so hard going through it. And they just talk themselves into a negative vibration and wonder why their life continues on in negativity, and wonder why they can't get rid of negative thoughts, why they keep having them pop up when their focus is on the negative things of the past. This is one of the reasons I stress over and over and over again that you have to cast off the news and the media, social media of the day, because it is rooted and grounded in fear and negativity. You can't be that high vibration person focusing on things that are lovely and good report while also partaking of that kind of garbage. And that's just what it is. There's no nice way of putting it. It is rubbish that drags you down. It lowers your vibration. It causes you to be in fear. It causes you to see lack and want everywhere. It causes you not to see the abundance of God. It causes you to stray from the goodness of God. And there's no way you can maintain a good, high, positive vibration when you're allowing all that stuff into your heart, because you haven't guarded your heart. But remember, the scripture says that you're to guard your heart, to protect your heart, to keep your heart, because out of it are the issues of life. You don't want those issues that the news media is talking about and social media is whining about, and whatever social cause is the cause of the day that people are up in arms about. You don't want to be dragged into that drama and that negativity. You allow that stuff into your heart, you're going to get more of that in your life. And that's not what you want. Or at least more of that negativity in your life. More of that low vibration thing in your life. It might be different for you from what's going on with somebody else. But if you allow yourself to get in that low vibrational state, you attract more low vibrational things into your life. So my friend, I want to encourage you today. Don't beat yourself up. Don't give up. Never give up. Keep moving forward. If you have a day where you start thinking about some negative thought and you catch yourself, say, oh, that's just that old programming. Thank you for that old programming. And move forward. Start thinking about something positive or speaking something positive. Also, don't make the mistake of then beating up the programming. Well, I gotta cast that negative programming out. You're so awful and evil, and start talking up, because you can get into a whirlpool of negativity about the negativity. Just get yourself focused on things that are lovely and of good report. Don't focus on the negativity. If you had a negative thought, realize it, cast it out, and move on. Start focusing on the good. And my friend, as you do that, and it may take some time at first, and it may take you a while, but you will start to see those old negative thoughts fade away, being replaced with the new positive thoughts that you have been renewing your mind to. And my friend, you will start to see your circumstances and your life reflect that in positivity, goodness, blessing, riches, wealth, and opulence, and all the things and the goodness of God that you want in your life. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.